Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this tutorial from East Meets West Educational Services. My name is Mohammed Shelby. Today I will talk to you about a software that will help you to track your students' attendance, attitude and participation and reward them positive marks for good doing easily and efficiently. The software is easy to use in online and face-to-face classes. What's good about it is that you don't have to stop the lesson to record anything you want to record. There are no jerky clicks or intricate instructions and options. At the same time, your school administration can have access to the same software in order to track students' performance and make sure that you're doing your job properly. You don't need to copy any notes you made in class in other special sheets for your school admin. They can check everything is okay using the same sheet you used in your lesson. Let me talk you through it. So you download the software from www.bestraapr.app, and then when you open it, you will find so many weeks here. This software can accommodate up to 17 weeks for a whole semester, and it can take up to 27 students. Now you need to go to week 1, and there are some things that you need to do to prepare the software. You need to write down students' names and try to keep the colors so that you don't mix the students up. And then you need to put in this information here. So you need to put the year and the semester, whether it's term 1 or term 2. You need to put in the grade, the subject that you're teaching, days of the week. You know, you start on Sunday, you start on Saturday, Monday. You need to put in dates, and you need to put in how many classes you are teaching here. So let's say I'm teaching 3 classes, so I'll put number 3 here. Now, when you put in this here, this and the students' names, and these here, the days, they get copied automatically. So if I change this to term 1, for example, if I go to week 2, it has changed to term 1. If I make it term 2 again, then you will find that it has become term 2, and the same thing applies to all 17 weeks, right? Now, the things that don't get copied automatically are the dates and the number of classes. You have to put these in every time to open a new week. Like in week 2, you have to put them in, and you have to put how many classes you're teaching. So this system was designed for 5 days a week. If you are teaching more than 2 classes a day, say you're teaching 6 classes, 2 on Sunday and then 1 on each other day, then simply you put number 6 here. Okay. Now the sheet is ready to use. You can use it on your phone, tablet or computer. My advice is to upload it on a cloud, preferably OneDrive under a Microsoft email, and share the link with your school admin so that they can access the cloud and see everything without you having to do any extra work like sending emails and so on. Now you may ask, how is it used in a classroom? Let me show you. How can you use it? It's simple. Before you go to class, what you need to do is you open the system. It's highly recommended that you upload it on a cloud so that school administration people working in your school can access it easily. So you open it from the cloud and say Muhammad here, he does something good. So you go to rewards here and you give him number 1. So here you're basically, when you put numbers, you're putting positive numbers. That's good things that Muhammad did. Muhammad does another thing that's good, you give him 2, right? And he does another good thing, you give him another mark, so it becomes 3 and so on. Okay. Now let's give some marks at random so that I show you how the whole system works, the software works. And that's it for rewards, like for good behavior and for students who listen to you and all. How about bad behavior? For bad behavior, you will find that we have 3 things here. A student is absent, That's A for attendance. You can read it here. R for reward, A for attendance. AT is for attitude, or in other words, behavior. And PA is for participation. So let's take them one by one. On Sunday, say Ali was absent, so we will mark him absent by putting number 1. Just numbers. The whole system depends on just putting numbers. So when you put number 1, you're telling the system that this student was absent for 1 lesson out of 3. So it automatically here, these here, or the awarded mark. So his attendance is 67%. Let's say that you teach this class on Monday as well, another lesson. Now what do you think? If I put number 1 here, what will happen to this? Right, it will be 33%. If he chooses to absent himself, let's say that you have this class on Thursday as well, again, then you put number 1 here, bingo, it's 0%, meaning Ali did not attend any classes this week, right? Now let's say that you teach him 5 days a week. If I change this to 5, you will find that 1 class a day, so he was absent for 3 classes, that's 60%, so his attendance is 40%. And it's like this basically. So let's put this back on 3, and this is how attendance works on this system. Now for bad behavior, and for lack of participation, we teachers have to record a lot of this. You have these 2 columns here, AT, or behavior or attitude, and PA, or which is participation. It's the same, basically the same thing. So if Abdullah, he didn't listen to you, he misbehaved, called another student a name or something, then you put a number here, then you will find that he lost marks under attitude here. His name is highlighted for a reason. I will tell you now why it's highlighted. If say Noor doesn't participate twice when you ask him to, so you deduct 2 marks from him, you will notice that he loses marks under participation. And the same thing applies, in all of the day. Now, why did these change? Because if you go down here, you will find that this is the average. Here, the average is 98%, so this student here is 80%. And the same thing here, the average, I guess, will be 98%, yeah. And that's why the names are highlighted. If there are other students who are, who lost marks, but they're not below average, then their names will not be highlighted. And this option is good for you so that you can take a general look at the whole sheet and you see, students whose names are highlighted, other students are not doing very well, they are below average. Now, if you want to write why you deducted marks from a student, for example, like what did Noor do to deduct 2 marks from him or her, then you basically go to review, you click review, and then you click new comment, and here you write talking without permission, say. Now you click anywhere, and you will notice that there is a colored corner here, and this again helps in case you want to go back to your notes and you forgot where the notes were, like where you wrote notes and where you just deducted marks. So you can see from the colored buttons here or the color corner that these are the notes that you wrote. This software has very, very good features, very special features, a lot better than many of the softwares that are out there on the market that you're using. The thing is, if you look at it, you will find, let's look at say week 7. You will find that all the students have 100% in their marks. Deliberately, the system is programmed to give all the students 100% here. So why is that? Because psychologically, when the students have the marks, it will be difficult to lose what you have. It's more difficult than not gaining something, right? So if the marks here were 0s, then the students will not be as careful as they would be when they see that they have the full mark. They choose to lose marks when they don't do well, and they start misbehaving. Another thing is, for this system to work, you need to inform the students how it works, so it's easy for the students to understand because it's similar to Excel. The 100% here, like in any other weeks, the 100% is distributed, so no student can lose more than 20% every day. And that's why, because we have 5 days a week. And why is this good? Because every day is a new start. So even if any of those students here miss Sunday up, like here for example, they can come on Monday, they can come on Tuesday, and they can change, they can do better. So every day is a new start. That's why each day is only 20%. Another very good thing is that 20% actually not for a single mistake that you make, but it's for students who make the most mistakes. If you look, you will find Abdullah here lost his 20% for one mistake. However, if John makes two mistakes, now John will lose 20%, so his mark will be 80%, and Abdullah's mark will improve. It will become 90%, because it's not fair to deduct marks from both of them equally, whereas John made double, the mistakes that he made. So let's say Angie, for example, made 4 mistakes, and you guessed it, she takes 80%, 90%, and this guy here becomes 95%. And this is how the system works. So still, even for one mistake, you lose marks, but it's not, the other guys who really messed up. The last thing is, when I introduced the first version of this program a few months back, it didn't have this tab here. This is the tab that administration will want to look at to be quickly updated on how all the classes are doing. For the details, they can go to each week. You will want to use cumulative Raapr when you speak to parents about the children. In addition, you can use it as a basis for judging which students get a certificate or a chocolate or something, and which students need to be taken to the office because of lack of participation. Most importantly, when it's time to write students' report cards at the end of the semester, or maybe at the end of the month or the quarter, you don't have to work hard, because the cumulative marks sheet will have all the calculations ready right there for you. Let me show you how. Not much you need to do here. If you click anywhere, there is no response. The only two things you can change are this here and this. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this. Sorry, I'll go back to week 1 here. Look here, if you want to know students' rank, then you go to this here, and basically if you want to know who is top in the class, then you hit 1. That means tell me the top 1 student. So David, basically, because he took 7 marks. If you want to know the top 2 students, then you click 2, so it's David and John. If you want to know the top 5 students and so on, and this is good, to give students rewards, certificates, chocolate, and so on. Now back to this. If it's the same concept here, basically, if you want to know the students at the end of the semester, this last sheet here can be used at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, or the semester. If you want to know who is doing well in class, then you choose, for example, the top 1 student, the top 2 students, the top 3 students, and so on. All what you need to do is just to put marks here, numbers here. Now here, what goes here is actually the number of weeks that you have entered data for. So here, I made some things up. I put marks at random here for weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5. For week 6, no. So let's say that you are in week 5 now in school, right? It's the end of week 5, and then the vice principal or a parent wants some information about their children, right? So all what you need to do is to go to the last tab. Here you put 5 and then enter, bingo. It will give you all the rewards, the attendance, the attitude, and the participation marks for 5 weeks, right? And every week you add, data for students' behavior and so on. You just add the week here. So you fill in everything for week 6, and you change this to 6. 7, you change it to 7, and that's it. So that's it for this software. Keeping track of students' performance is one of the teacher's responsibilities that this software will make easy for you. It's important to always know how your students are doing so that you can step in if you have any issues, or praise them for doing well at school. Now, go to the link to download this free software. If you have any issues, you can contact me on any of my accounts on social media in the video description. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. And all feedback to improve the software or about any difficulties is welcome and highly appreciated. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.